Welcome everyone to This Week in PlayStation Trophies, your weekly look at everything to do with the PlayStation Network, the new games that are up, as well as the new trophy list that have been revealed. Lots of new games up on PSN this week, so we're going to start off by looking through all of them, talk about the ones that I played through. I reviewed a bunch of them, talk a little bit about their trophies, and then jump over the PSN profiles and check out all the new trophy list for all the upcoming games and some of the new stuff that has been going on in the world of PlayStation Trophies for this week. Let's not dilly-dally too much. Let's jump right into it. Let's look over. Here we go. Here's the PlayStation Store, the beautiful PlayStation Store. Like I said, a pretty good amount of new stuff uploaded, a couple of big releases, a lot of big releases, full-price big releases this week. Arguably 4 big titles along with other downloadable ones. So kicking us off is Yakuza 0. This is one of the ones I did get a chance to do a review for, thanks to Saga, which was one of the coolest things. It's my first kind of major release game, full price major release, AAA release kind of game that I've gotten a chance to do as a review ahead of time, which was really awesome experience. I'm a huge Yakuza fan, so it meant even more to me to have that. It's a prequel game. It only has 2 playable characters, unlike the previous Yakuza 5 that have 5 playable characters. But they do a great job with it. There's so many mini games and other stuff to jump into. The trophy list is a pretty difficult one. It's pretty typical for Yakuza standards. You have to do a lot of the activities, and there's a bunch of missable things along the way as well. I didn't know what the trophy list all fully entailed while going through the game, so I even missed a few easy ones throughout the course of the game. But if you're a fan like a beat-em-up style games, 3D beat-em-ups, Yakuza is well worth checking out. Plus, it's just so much to do in the series. Next up is, this is a little bundle of 3 Force Home and Paranautical Activity, which is interesting that they paired those 2 up together. But either way, next is the Turing Test. This is a game that does not have a platinum. It has gotten a bit of buzz. It's a first-person puzzle adventure style game. Some could argue that means like walking sim-esque thing. In fact, but there's a little bit more to it, thankfully, than just that. You do have the gun and stuff to solve the puzzles. They actually someone speed ran this, the PC version, obviously, at AGDQ this year for the Turing Test, which was interesting enough. Unfortunately, like I said, though, it does not feature a platinum trophy, but it does look like a cool game. It's one that I want to check out at some point down the road. Tales of Berseria. This is the newest in the Tales of series, long-running Tales of series. They have pretty much a yearly release now for this. I have not picked this one up. This is actually the first Tales of game I have not picked up on release. I actually had to cancel my pre-order for it just because of funds, but I'm sure it's still a good action RPG. I'm a big fan of the Tales of series. I like the fact you can play it multiplayer with your friends, which is a huge... It's not like online multiplayer or anything like that, but just the fact that you can do the battles with friends always made these series of games even better than just like a typical single-player RPG experience. But you can play it perfectly fine by yourself as well if you've never checked it out. It's obviously very anime-ish, very Japanese, so it has that audience to it, but they're still very fun games. It can be challenging. There's usually a lot to do in them. And of course, full trophy list and the like usually requires multiple playthroughs. I'm not sure if this one does, but a lot of the Tales games that I have looked at the trophy list or messed with myself required like multiple playthroughs, which was just like an action RPG that's like 40 hours long with multiple playthroughs. Everybody else can have at that one. Next up is Subterrane. I talked about this one a bit before. This is a top-down action shooter that has a lot of trophies to it. Does have a platinum. It just has a lot of trophies in general, a lot for grinding out each weapon kill and different objectives and stuff. Looks like a cool game art style wise and all, and probably a very difficult one just from everything I can kind of see with it. There's crafting, yay, my favorite. But it does seem like a pretty cool game. $17.99 or $17, $16.99 normally, on sale right now because the first like week of release, but does seem like a pretty cool game. The big one this week for me was Resident Evil 7. As much as I love Yakuza, I'm a bigger fan of Resident Evil, just a little bit, like, but Resident Evil 7, I was completely shocked and blown away just how much I ended up loving the game. This is another one I do have a full review up on the channel if you want to check that one out. Just yes, it's so different. I like both old school Resident. I was gonna say RPGs. I don't know why. I just because of Tales of, but old school Resident Evil games. I like the Resident Evil 4 and up Resident Evils. I didn't like 6 though. Like I thought they've gotten worse. So I thought the series needed some kind of different step, reboot, something. And that's exactly what they did. I'm sure there's the old fans that are just like, they're going to crap on it no matter what. They're going to hate it. Think it's a piece of crap just because it's not old school Resident Evil. And I'm sure there's a lot of people from the Resident Evil 4 and up part. They're like, oh, it's not an action game, and it's not as much action. It's not an action movie anymore. It's much more horror. There's the survival elements. There's very little ammo at times. There's a lot of tension. Arguably the best horror atmosphere of any Resident Evil. So well worth checking out, in my opinion. There's a bunch of DLC. In fact, the first DLC even comes out this week, which will be interesting. Of course, obviously a plat. I'm working on the plat myself. I've actually done 2 full playthroughs of the game already. It's gonna take me 4 full playthroughs in order to get the plat. That was because there's one trophy in particular. I will warn everyone about if you're going after the plat. The worst trophy to me in the game is the one for not using the item box more than 3 times in a run, which doesn't sound so bad, except there's a point in the game where you're forced to use the item box 3 different times. And because of that, so that's the only times you're going to be able to use the item box, is those 3 forced occasions. And on my second playthrough, I was going for it, and I knew about the 2 was forced, and I forgot there was a 3rd forced one that you have to do. And because of that, I ended up, like, I'm going to have to redo another easy mode run or something. Right now, I'm working on my Madhouse run, my 3rd run of the game, which is the big huge difficulty. But I'm very much enjoying it. Pine View Drive is a game that is a horror game that didn't look all that good to me. Opinion-wise, it was pretty pricey at $30. It does not have a platinum trophy or anything. We can look a little bit at this. I was trying to get to the trailer for this. I watched this before, and it doesn't really give you anything. It's like this really shaky cam in the forest type thing, and then it just shows Pine View Drive. And that's like all the trailer is. So anyone who's played it, I know it's on PC, I'm sure as well. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Pine View Drive. That seems pretty pricey for the kind of game it is, and no plat, so I didn't pick it up myself. There's a Motor Racer 4. This is a PlayStation VR game with motorcycles. I don't know how the VR all works with it. I know Resident Evil 7 with VR, I heard, is really, really awesome. But I'm not really into the motorcycle racing games, so I can't really say how good or not they are. Letter Quest Remastered and 3/4 Home bundle. Man, they really wanted to put together 3/4 Home, which was also on sale during the PlayStation sales back in December. But next up is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. That's a big mouthful, but basically what this is, they've been re-releasing the Kingdom Hearts titles. They started with 1.5, which was a combination of like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories, and then like cutscenes from 358 days or whatever it's called. And then they did 2.5, which is probably the best of the set of these compilations. Is 2.5, and the reason for it is because not only does it have Kingdom Hearts 2, it has probably my personal favorite Kingdom Hearts game in Birth by Sleep. And then there's this, which is 2.8, which has, the main attraction is Dream Drop Distance, which was a 3DS title. And then there's also the Frag, that was a mess up of a tongue, I apologize for that one. Fragmentary Passage, which is they say is a brand new episode that links to Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it's actually just a special side ending thing that was added in the like ultimate version of Birth by Sleep. It does. What's the thing about trophies though for this is Dream Drop has its own trophy list with a platinum. There is a separate trophy list for Birth by Sleep. Fragmentary Passage. That is there's no plat for that one, but that's a very short one. Usually, it's funny, the other Kingdom Hearts ones, the other things, each of them had their own list, and then even the side thing, whatever else was included, it was like Recoded was included with 2.5, and the 358-day cutscenes included in 1.5, which they are bundling both 1.5 and 2.5 together for the PS4. That was originally released on PS3. They're coming to PS4 in April. Beginning of April, they are coming, and I will be picking it up because I actually did not pick up 2.5 because I wanted it on PS4, not PS3, because it had come out long after the PS4 had been out, and I thought it was really dumb to put 2.5 on PS3 but not 4. So they're putting 1.5 and 2.5 on the PS4. And that's what I'm going to be picking up upcoming in April, not back in April. Unless this is a video from May, I guess. I don't know. Long week, guys. Long week for me. I've reviewed a lot of games this week. And speaking of releases I've reviewed, Hunter's Legacy is up next. This is a 2D action game with a cartoon art style that is reminiscent to me of modern Cartoon Network games. A little bit like Adventure Time, vibe. Like, not exactly, but a little bit like that. You may be able to get a little bit of that. I do have a full review for this up on the channel. It's a relatively cheap experience at only $6.99, so not too bad. It took me about 2.5 to 3 hours in order to complete it. There is no platinum, though, unfortunately. Just a regular small little bit of trophy list. It mentions Metroidvania. It's a little bit of Metroidvania. It's not a ton of it. Most of it is, they say it's non-linear, but it's relatively linear. But it doesn't mean it's bad. The action and combat is actually pretty fun. If you like these kind of games, I would recommend it for the price tag, as long as you're not like, oh, it doesn't have a plat, I'm not touching it. Like, if you're okay with it not, then it may be worth checking out. Next up is Ignis Ghosts of Maple Creek. This is another hidden object game with a very, very easy platinum. This is the first really easy platinum we've had for a little bit. It's been a few weeks. Maybe the first time in 2017. Trying to think. Maybe the first really easy, ridiculously easy. I mean, really easy. I'm talking about super easy plat in 2017. But anyway, it's one of those hidden picture point-and-click adventure games. There's a good guides already available for it, and this actually is very similar. It's by the same people that did Nightmares from the Deep and Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink, and this one's actually even easier trophy list-wise than those two. In fact, I got like 3 or 4 gold trophies in the first like 5 minutes of the game. Basically, I got to a hidden object thing, and there's a goal for getting 3 objects in 3 seconds, beating it without being in a hidden object picture without making more than like 3 mistakes, beating a hidden objects thing in less than a minute. Like those, and they're all gold. Like, I got the platinum, no problem. There is one major issue with the game, though, that I hope they patch. There's a game-breaking bug in it that can occur randomly, that locks your controls, and you can't do anything. Even if you quit the game and come back in, your controls are still locked. I had to restart the game not once, not twice, but 3 times. I had to restart the game from the beginning. Thankfully, it's short. Back up your saves. This is what my recommendation is. Definitely back up your save during the course of it, especially after the tougher puzzles. Not that there's really a tough puzzle. Most have very easy solutions, but back up your save during gameplay so you don't have to do the whole thing from the beginning. But still a very easy plat. There's the Motor Racer 4 Deluxe. Now, oh boy, this is not how. There's another one with a high price tag, $29.99. No platinum. I was interested in this title because being a former emergency medical technician, I was very much I'm a volunteer at my firehouse and all that stuff. So I wanted to mess with this game. However, that price tag, way too much, and this game looks stellar. And look at this. Let me see if I can. I don't have I need to get a good setup for watching YouTube trailers. I know that the little end of it's cut off, but you guys can still get the gist of what's going on here. But oh boy, does this look good, doesn't it, guys? Like, this is PS4 quality gaming. When I saw this, I was like, oh man, we're giving Life of Black Tiger a run for its money here in 2017 for what's going to be the absolute worst thing that hits PS4. This game is already a tad bit worse just because it doesn't. It's more money. It's $30 compared to Life of Black Tiger, which was like $10. But they make this trailer look great, don't they? Okay, that's got awesome rock music going on there. But okay, so there you go. There's Firefighter Simulator. Next up is Valentino Rossi and MXGP2. These are the compact versions. I guess, smaller versions of the game. They're 20 bucks a piece. Neither one has a plat. It's just a series. They do have trophies, but it's a small list. And finally, ACA Neo Geo World Heroes for $7.99 is another one of those arcade archives. I wish they were cheaper. They have crappy lists of trophies. I complain about them each and every week on this show because they just drive me nuts. I wish they could put plats or at least cheapen them, because $8, no platinums, no... The trophy list is also boring. Anyway, I like literally every week I rant about these. Okay, so let's jump over to the PSN profiles. The good old PSN profiles. And last week we left off at Dext, which got a separate list as well here. So starting off with Hunter's Legacy, I talked about this a bit already. We can pull this up real quick though. But you can see the game, finishing the game, achieve 100%. You do have to beat the game technically maybe twice. And the reason for that is you have to beat the game without getting an upgrade and beat it 100%. So you may be able to beat the game without the upgrades and then go get all the upgrades and then beat it. So it could be one playthrough, which is going to be a little bit difficult. There's not multiple different difficulties or anything like that, but there is that. Next up is Operation 7 Revolution. This is a first-person shooter, multiplayer online first-person shooter. Doesn't look like anything really special to me. I do have a trailer for that, so this is going to be our first official trailer of the week. This is the Operation 7 Revolution 2017 trailer for PS4. I like how all the, I guess it's bots or just people generically named. I mean, it looks very generic. It looks, obviously, seeing the text and all, it looks like it's coming from the Hong Kong, Taiwan region. They did not show much in this trailer. So my feeling is it's not going to be very good. That's my potential feeling on that. So anyway, for those who may be interested, Operation 7. Next up is... I just losing my place because Dext and stuff. Anyway, Yakuza 0. I didn't get this list was finally put up right before. In fact, I'm actually logged in. Not that it matters. You can just see my wonderful small amount of trophies. But there we go. Log out just so it's a little bit easier to read everything. But there you go. So here's the trophy list for it. Most of these are beating the game. A lot of these are beating the game early on. But there's a few specific ones, like, that are missable, too. Like this one, big hair in the crosshairs. Defeat the Yakuza with the afro on the highway. There's a shooting part from the car, and there's one guy with an afro during it, and you have to make sure you defeat that one guy, or else you won't do it. There's a few other ones. Treat a homeless man to $20,000 yen bottle of booze. That's a missable trophy that I missed myself. Basically, he wants like champagne or something like that, and you can get one of two kinds: the cheaper kind, which is what I got, or you get the more expensive kind, which actually gives you a trophy, which is my fault for not researching the Japanese list very much. But there's that. You have to beat the game on the legendary difficulty, which you unlock after beating the game normally. But there is a new game plus feature to the game, as well as beating a bunch of the side, completing every sub-story, which that takes quite a bit. It may actually be a little bit easier than Yakuza 5's trophy list. Honestly, it may be a little bit easier than that. If anyone's going after it or has done it on the Japanese version, let me know. Enigmatis, like I said, very easy plat. This is our first major, super, extremely easy platinum of the year. In fact, I made a comment on this guy who was talking about the game breaking, which is, I was like, yes. So here you go. You gotta beat on expert, which is not hard at all. Like, it's the same game. You can't fail. Like, it's impossible to fail the game. The only thing that's difficult for it are making sure you don't use a hint and don't skip any of the mini games. They're very easy anyway. And then finish, like I said, finish a hidden thing in less than 4 mistakes, or finish it in less than a minute. I got like 3 or 4 gold trophies right at the start of the game, and it took me, it would have only taken me about 2 hours, if that, to platinum it, if it wasn't for the game breaking on me multiple times. Next up is Divide. This does not, unfortunately, have a platinum, but does seem like a kind of a cool game. It doesn't look like it's that This is probably the hardest thing. This data collector one is definitely the hard trophy. The only goal to obtain at least 120 Solus entries. That's probably a little bit difficult. It's maybe collectibles. I don't know how difficult that'll be. Here we go. Here's the trailer for Divide. It does kind of look like an interesting, cool game, though. Uncover a secret world. But yeah, there's another game that came out on PS4 not extremely long ago. That had kind of a similar look to it. But yeah, it looks kind of cool. I probably has an interesting story also that kind of goes along with everything. Not a kind of game that's for everyone out there, but still kind of a cool looking one. Next up, we have ourselves RE7. Like I said, I've been going after. I'm working on this one myself, and the hardest trophies for this game are mostly contained. Other than beating it on Madhouse, there is 2 sets of collectibles: the Mr. Everywheres, which there's 20 of, and they are in all difficulties. Then there's the antique coins, and there's 2 sets of antique coins. There's 18 coins in normal and easy that count as a trophy, and then there's 33 that you have to collect during Madhouse difficulty. So, a bit annoying as far as that is concerned. They at least do something, though. The antique coins that you collect, you can spend on these bird cages, basically, and you get some special items and stuff during your gameplay. So they are, at least you get something out of it for collecting them. Beating the game within 4 hours. My first playthrough was 7.5 hours. My second playthrough was less than 3. But that was on easy, of course, easy mode. And you do get a cool gun, a very cool, like a very useful handgun. Without spoiling much, a more powerful handgun for beating the game one time through, and you get that so you can replay the game on easy. With that, all your unlockables carry over. So if you're having problems with the speedrun one, if you beat the game on Madhouse, you also unlock the ability to have unlimited ammo. In which case, unlimited ammo you can then use in a run with, and probably be able to beat the game. You also get once you do beat under 4 hours, you get another little special thing anyway that makes you go through the game even quicker. But yeah, it's not too bad. Like I said, the speedrun trophies, I know a lot of people are like immediately turned off by them, but it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of leeway after completing my playthrough. Next up is Chime Sharp. This does have a platinum, which was surprising to me. It's a puzzle game, an interesting looking puzzle game. In fact, I don't have a whole lot of trailers this week pulled out because it just wasn't a whole lot trailer-wise out there, but it does seem like a kind of interesting little puzzle game with like these grids and stuff like that, and you have like kind of pseudo Tetris stuff going on with it, and it's music-based. Obviously, Chime Sharp, Chime and Sharp sign, so it looks kind of cool though. Very colorful. Very modern puzzle style of game. I guess you gotta match the spots that are certain colors on it. So if anyone's messed with it, it's on PC and Steam as well. That's actually what this trailer is for, but it is coming to PS4 obviously soon-ish. Let me know what you think about Chime Sharp. Is it actually fun? Is it easy to recommend? Is it easy to recommend IGN? I don't know. Is it? So there you go. There's Chime Sharp, which kind of looks pretty cool. Next up is New Game of the Challenge Stage. This is a Japanese visual novel title, which you could probably tell immediately. I'll hit the translate button for it, but you can see saw the good end and normal ends for each of these characters for their roots. Getting all the CG pictures and all the music, and saw the work events for each character. And release or is it canceled? I see a game over. I don't know what that involves, but it's kind of a funny trophy description. I also love the fact that there's like a cat coin is what all the trophy icons are. But probably, I assume this is an anime. This may just be a flat-out an anime that's getting in a game based on it. According to this, I'm reading new game. Game new. Anime to receive visual novel. So, I don't know. If this is actually an anime turning into a visual novel instead of the other way around, which happens sometimes, let me know. But it seems like a pretty easy list, and it's 2 separate lists, one for Vida and one for PS4. So that's cool at least. There's a few more Vida related things going on. This is Black Wolf's Saga. This is another one where I'm pretty sure it's another visual novel that's going on here. You guys look, I mean, you just usually with these visual novels, you can just kind of read the trophies and tell. Getting the endings, seeing the special sceneries, getting the CG. If they say all CG unlocked, usually that's a visual novel because that's the pictures that you get throughout the course of your playthroughs and your special things and rewards, basically, for getting certain paths. So there's also collecting all the music, collection of all the word of all, collection of all the word. But there you go. There's another visual novel there, and I think this one is as well. Yeah. This is definitely another visual novel, so there you go. So we have a bunch of visual novels coming, which is cool for fans of them if you read Japanese, of course. Most of these are probably never going to see the light of day as far as the North American release is concerned. But I know there are people that trophy hunt that will import or download these Japanese Vida-only visual novels to go after them. Here's the trophy list for Pineview Drive. It's 30 days you have to survive in it. And it's pretty much similar. Here you go. Same list as Joe's Diner, which was a game we talked about last week that didn't have a platinum. It didn't look very good either. So yeah, it doesn't look extremely good or interesting, but a very simple trophy list if you're actually able to stand the game, I guess, long enough. Next up, this is another visual novel game. I am going to guess Prince Sama Song Repeat Love. Oh no, this looks like it may be a... No, well, hold on. I'm seeing routes, seeing all episodes, all illustrations. When I saw ending of the S class, I thought we wanted S rank. Nah, definitely a visual novel. I thought maybe it was a rhythm game for a second. But there is, for first time clearing rhythm lessons. So maybe there's a rhythm game as well as a visual novel going on there. I assume that's more of what this is too. Maybe? What are we going on here? Twin Star of Onumijo. I know that's wrong. I apologize. Level of Potter's Wheel has become 99. Level of Potter's are 50. Won a bullet for someone in battle. One fighting with Kumai. Clear each day. Laid the best relationship with each character. The touch event was successful once. All touch events were successful. Especially with like the pentagram looking thing here. Like, what exactly is Twin Stars in Yin Yang something is what it, okay. Let me know what that's all about. Next up is another visual novel. This one I looked up a little bit earlier. Beyond the 4 Rhythm of Blue HD Edition. Blue 4 Worm for Rhythm is what the thing at the top says. But anyway, you can see just another visual novel. Nothing too spectacular there. Next up is Momo Dora 4. This is a part of a long-running series of games that have a retro style to them. Very difficult games, especially on the harder difficulties. Momo Dora 4, though, I'm not sure if this is a new one or is this like there was one Momo Dora Moonlight. I'm not sure if it's a version of that. I've played Momo Dora 2 and 3, but I didn't play anything after that. I'm a little bit disappointed we couldn't get like a full trophy list for it and all. But these games, if you like retro action games that are difficult, you're probably going to like the Momo Dora series. They're pretty popular as well. So it's cool that we're getting one onto console. Next up, and the only other one that I have any sort of trailer for is Paladins. This is the free-to-play hero shooter. If you're not unfamiliar with hero shooter, that's Overwatch and Battleborn, but mostly Overwatch now, because everything that's going to come out as a hero shooter, hero-based shooter, is going to be compared to Overwatch. I don't know. I don't think this is out in North America yet, but it may be out elsewhere, or there was a beta or something, because I'm getting a little bit of mixed things. Like I said, it looks completely like, I mean, most people are going to see this with the customization of the characters and all this kind of stuff. Like I said, it very much going to look like your Overwatch style of game, and that's exactly what it is, because it's a genre. I don't play a lot of Overwatch or anything like that, but that's now become the king of, like, no matter what other hero shooters ever exist. that will, unlike the MOBAs, where we have, like, League may be the king of MOBAs pretty much in a lot of people's eyes, there are at least other MOBAs that can thrive to a degree, like Smite and such. So, anyway, there is Paladins, the trailer for Paladins. Next up is Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. This is the basically Final Fantasy XII remastered, of course a platinum, which is awesome. I'm sure it's doing everything in this game, which is a lot. Raise your party's average level above 50. Defeated 500 foes, took 50,000 steps, acquired 100,000 gil, 500,000 clan points, 1,000,000 gil. Fully explored every map, defeated Death Gauge, defeated Fafnir, defeated Trickster, Carrot, Gilgamesh. These are the hunts. If I'm correct, these are all the hunts. It's been a while since I played 12. My favorite part about 12 was the hunts. I remember Carrot. I'm pretty sure that is obviously the Marlboro hunt, which was a pain. There was also that, I'm not saying as a, I was wondering, I remember the unicorn. There was like a unicorn-based one, I want to say, that was a hunt. That was really a pain in the butt. It's been a long time since I played 12, since it came out. So I'm excited that this is getting moved over to, getting a remaster and coming out to PlayStation 4. A lot of people don't like 12. I do. I enjoyed 12. Complete 50th trial, 100th trial. Restore peace to Ivalice. aka beat the game, I assume. So cool stuff. Seems like a trophy list that's doable if you're jumping into the game, like if you're gonna spend the time and spend a lot of hours, but that's cool. Zero Escape, the NonMemory games. This is Virtue's Last Reward and 999 bundled together. So I'm happy to see that this is getting released relatively soon. It's cool that we're getting this, and we're also getting the Danganronpa games to PlayStation 4. So that's really cool. There's trophies list for both 999 and Virtue's Last Reward. Virtue's Last Reward was also on the Vida and did have a trophy list, including a platinum, I'm pretty sure, on the Vida. So there's getting all the endings, seeing each character's ending. There's a lot of endings, of course. Very cool games. A bit brutal at times, but really cool games. VR Pingpong, which does have a platinum. Smart move on their part, putting a platinum. But you get stuff like 1,000 points in practice mode. They're all golds too. Wow, 11 gold trophies for VR Ping-Pong. This is the kind of game I would get if I had VR. Kill a viewer, win one set by 11-0. Yeah, this is totally something I would buy on VR. It looks so crap. It looks like the crap of VR, but it has probably a very easy platinum. Very grindy to get 1,000 points, of course. Maybe. I don't know how long that'll take. But funny that gets a platinum. You gotta love some games that get ones and other ones that don't. A game that I just put up a review for, it's coming out today. I'm recording this early in the morning, so it should be out later today or very, very soon if it's not out today. And that is Earthlock Festival of Magic. This is a JRPG that's very much like a PS2 era JRPG in a good way, like not as a negative. Like it brought me right back to my high school days of playing JRPGs, and I really enjoyed it. Most of the trophy list is beating the game. A lot of these up to here, these are all beating the game. And then there's a bunch of stuff for there's a garden in the game. You get to level up your characters to 20, get all the bonds between all the characters, which unlocks new abilities if you keep characters in the party for long periods of time together. There's tournaments. It's like the arena, as well as a couple of side things as well, like side boss stuff. So really cool game. Very doable trophy list as well if you can get into the game. It's not an extremely long JRPG either. So that's a plus. There's Subterrane, which I thought we had talked. Maybe we talked about a different game that was very similar, but here you can see this. Survive 24 hours in a game, 72 hours in a game, 120 hours in a game. Kill certain characters, produce a lot of fruits or vegetables, complete a certain number of projects, kill a certain number of enemies. A lot going on here. 35 bronze, 11 silver, 2 gold. trophies going on in that. We talked about Super Magical last week, but it didn't have a trophy list yet. But interestingly enough, PS3 and PS4 are now listed under Super Magical. My prediction was it wasn't going to have a plat. It's like a $3 game on the Vida. But it's cool that they're also going to get a PS4 version. It has like a story mode. It's like a action puzzle-y game. So it's kind of cool that it does, it has an okay amount of trophies, 19 bronze and 1 silver, nothing too spectacular by any means, but cool that it's getting a PS4 version as well for people that want to check it out. And I love the 7 deadly sins, I guess, being the bosses of the game. And last but not least is Sniper Elite 4, the newest sniper game. I've not really been someone who's been into this. The games are pretty brutal from the kill standpoint. Like, they have that X-ray vision when you snoot people. You snoot them and you get X-ray. And when you shoot them, you get the X-ray stuff. You got to beat it on the hardest difficulty. No surprise. Complete all challenges in a single mission. Complete all Mother Hen secondary missions in the main game. Complete all OSS secondary objectives in the main game. There's a lot of side objectives. Reach character rank of 50. Fun stuff there. And there's DLC already for it, including kill Hitler with a torpedo rack. Crush Hitler with the eagle at the Okay, the Target Führer DLC is maybe kill Hitler. Okay, there's your best trophy of all time. Kill Hitler with a testicle shot, which that's the big thing. There's an X-ray when you shoot somebody through the balls. You see an X-ray of like their ball exploding. Like I said, brutal game. I've just never played it myself. I have friends that are really into them, but holy crap. Holy crap, like that trophy alone, that's the kind of trophy you put on your mantle. Killing Hitler with a testicle shot. So there you guys go. That is everything for PlayStation Store and PlayStation 4 this week. The only platinum I got is Ignis. I'm working on Resident Evil 7's plat. I'm still working on Quest of Dungeons plat. I still want to get a few others there. I'm working slowly. I've given up on Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. That game has driven me nuts trying to get the harder difficulty stuff. Some of the side missions are such a pain in the game. So I was going to go for the platinum in it, but I've decided to move on, focus on other games instead. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this week in PlayStation Trophies. If you like the show, be sure to share it, thumbs it up, comment, all that fun stuff. I'll be back, of course, next week for another video. And be sure to check out all the reviews. I'm going to be adding the card things throughout the videos from now on when I do have a review for certain games that I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, have a great week. Have a good weekend. All that good stuff. And I will see you next time.